I think Piers Morgan's an absolute clown, but he absolutely destroyed Jake Paul. Absolutely destroyed Jake Paul in his confrontation to him on his show in the build-up to the Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight. Let's get right into it now, because Jake Paul was properly pressured and he absolutely hated every single minute of it and came up with a load of rubbish to try and justify everything. Let's get right into it now then. Here we go.
Heads and all these fucking boxers who think they know about the sport, put some respect on my name.
All the boxers who know a lot about the sport, put some respect on his name. Based off what? Should all these, world champion boxers put some respect on Jake Paul's name? Based off what? For knocking out a 58-year-old Mike... he didn't knock him out. For going to a decision with a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. You expect world champions, who have way better morals than that, to put some respect on your name. See what Piers Morgan's got to say to that.
Yeah, but you're not going to get... Look, you're going to make a ton of money. Listen, I think as a businessman, you are brilliant, right? I give you full credit for that.
That is true. That is true. As a businessman, Jake Paul is good. He managed to pull off the Mike Tyson fight where he got paid absolute millions for it. And Jake Paul's doing his thing. He's getting paid a lot of money for all of this. So respect to him for that. He's a good businessman. But as a man and as a fighter, there's no respect for him whatsoever. But him doing business and all, he's very, very, very good at manipulating the public. He's very good at that. He's very good at that. There's probably right now not really many people better than him at being able to manipulate the public and get people to, buy into the nonsense that Jake Paul's doing. And even, hardcores who buy into the nonsense that Jake Paul's doing and watch it. He's able to get attention around his name and get millions for it. I mean, he's building a life for himself and his family. So, business point of view, fair bloody play. But as a fighter, you can't expect to get respect from these world champions and say, I'm going to be a future world champion with everything that he's doing.
When you took on Mike Tyson as a business enterprise, there's no argument. You absolutely crushed the numbers, crushed the money and everything else. But the idea that you can say on the one hand, I'm a killer, I get in the ring with the best people, and you get in the ring with a guy who's 50, he's literally nearly as old as me.
I'm not talking about Mike Tyson. I'm talking about Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley, champions in their sport.
Golden Glove. Yeah, he mentions, I'm not talking about Mike Tyson. I'm talking about Anderson Silva, who was 48 years old. Yeah, champions in their sport. I'm talking about Anderson Silva, 47, 48 years old, by the way. Champions in their sport. Not boxing. Not boxing. And Piers Morgan's exactly right with what he's saying about Mike Tyson. And Jake Paul saying, oh, I'm not talking about Mike Tyson. Yeah, he's not, because he can't justify it, really, to these pro boxers who he apparently wants respect from.
Loves champions Ryan Borland, Andre August, undefeated.
Ryan Borland, Andre August, undefeated fighters. They weren't undefeated, but yeah, Andre August, Ryan Borland. Yes, they're the names. You can't not say them. You can't not give them a mention. Andre August and Ryan Borland. Wow.
Fighters. The list goes
but what
on
great
and on.
Boxer
Undefeated fighters. Yeah, what have they done in the sport? Honestly. You can't go in there and lose to Jake Paul in the first round and call yourself a pro boxer, though, if we're being real. They were him and his team, if you actually look at the resumes of Andre August and Ryan Borland, they were very, very, very cleverly picked out by Jake Paul and his team. Go and look at the resumes. Go and look at what they'd done in the sport. Look at how inactive they were. Look at their previous match. Look at what they've done. Nothing.
Former world champion on Saturday, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., son of the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, besides me, of course. Like, I don't know.
I mean, yes, he's going up against the former world champion in Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Okay. Anderson Silva beat him. Uriah Hall arguably beat him. Yes, he's a former world champion. But again, it's from a business point of view. Yeah, you've got people talking about it because he's a former world champion. But people who know the story of Julio Cesar Chavez, it's not a good story. Well, of Julio Cesar Chavez, sorry, it is not Junior. People know what's been going on with him, and he's a disgrace to his family name.
What you guys want to see? I tried to fight Canelo. He ducked out of it. You asked him about that. You said he's going to.
Yeah. So, with the Canelo situation, he did try to fight Canelo. It's all strange to me, though, when you think Canelo ducked out of it. He didn't duck out of it. He didn't duck him. He went the undisputed path. But if it wasn't for Turki Al-Sheikh, Canelo actually would have fought this bloke. And honestly, thank God Turki Al-Sheikh for saving us for that. And I can't really say otherwise. For apparently, he actually did try and fight Canelo. I don't know if he actually thought it would happen. I don't know if that would have actually been like an exhibition fight and if it was something to actually be taken seriously. I don't know. I don't really think many people know. And I don't know if we're going to see something like that actually happen. But the fact that he's gone from from a possible Canelo fight to them wanting a Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight, it's a bit of a different kind of step in class there that you've gone from that to this. So that kind of transition makes me question. So he ideally wanted Canelo. Why aren't you trying to bag another fight with another elite fighter? If you really wanted that, apparently he wanted to fight Tank, but Tank's way smaller than him though. Way smaller.
Kill me. So what do you want, Piers? You're laughing when you say, "Oh, Jake is gonna fight Canelo." I think you would kill him. But then you're like, "Oh, you're not fighting this guy." You're the problem here with this whole situation.
I don't know. You can't really trust Jake with what he was doing, though.
Of my career, I'm trying to fight the best people, and that's why Chavez is here on Saturday.
You're trying to fight the best people. That's why Julio Cesar Chavez, who's a drug addict, is here on Saturday. Yes. And now we go to an ad. Go away. Don't really care about this game. Don't really care. Yeah, thank you.
This is what we're talking about.
And now this is where Jake Paul starts.
What do you want to talk about? We can make up hypotheticals. You should go.
You would have had two hopes. No disrespect to you, Jay. No disrespect.
That's what I want.
You would have had two hopes of beating Mike Tyson
as well.
You'd have had two hopes of beating
Joshua as well.
You against Mike Tyson, you'd have had two hopes. No hope and Bob Hope.
Exactly.
I'm knocking out the best.
Bob Hope.
And you versus going to the gym, you're still a fat ass.
Actually,
what do you want to talk
I've been in the gym the last 2 days. I'm in quite good nick.
We can make up hypotheticals. You should go.
It's true though. Jake Paul knows he wouldn't beat prime Mike Tyson. Jake Paul knows he wouldn't beat him. And then he comes out trying to rage about that. I mean, look, of course he's going to go on the defensive with that kind of comeback. Fair enough. But Piers Morgan's only setting that straight. He's only setting that straight and saying the truth, and Jake Paul can't handle the truth. I get the comeback, but he can't handle the truth that he actually wouldn't beat Mike Tyson. And there he's saying, "Oh, I think anything can happen."
To the gym. If you went to the gym, this is what we're talking about. What
did he say here?
Okay. If you went to the gym,
I've been twice this week.
Okay.
I
What
don't
is
really
it?
care about he's fucking going to the
Just a proper serious boxer. And I suspect that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. may be that person. It could all come
problem
crashing
here,
down.
Piers, is that you think that your opinion matters.
Well, why are you doing my show if it doesn't?
Oh, I'm just taking your audience to sell pay-per-views. I don't give a fuck about your show. You dumbass. This is a fucking business enterprise.
And he's got him raging out. He's got him raging out. You know, he's trying to hit him with the truth. He told him earlier on, I think I missed it, that Mike Tyson would destroy him in 10 seconds at the start when he first got him on. And ever since Jake Paul doesn't like it. Jake Paul doesn't like it. And he's on the defensive. He's raging about it all. Because Piers Morgan's basically telling him how it is. His career is all a fraud. He's a great businessman, but his boxing career is all a fraud. It's all a joke.
Buy the pay-per-view on Saturday, June 28th, me versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Thank you. Tune in, everybody.
And there we go. He rages out. Because he was told. He was told and he couldn't answer it. Jake Paul knows the truth about his boxing career. He knows it. Again, great businessman. You can't take that away from him. The amount of money he's made out of this sport is fantastic and anyone would want to do it. But his career's been, Piers Morgan set him straight. He told him his whole career is a fraud, basically. And Jake Paul didn't like it. There we go. Anyway, thank you all for watching.